reading this book, An Open Heart by the Dalai Lama. We're on page 38 and we've just started leaving cyclic existence. Once we finally recognize the suffering state we are in, the all-pervasive suffering that the afflictive emotions such as attachment and anger inflict upon us, we develop a sense of frustration and disgust with our present predicament. This in turn nurtures the desire to free ourselves from the present state of mind, the endless cycles of misery and disappointment. I think this is starting to talk about renunciation. When our focus is on others, on our wish to free them from their misery, this is compassion. However, only once we have acknowledged our own state of suffering and developed the wish to free ourselves from it can we have truly meaningful wish to free others from their misery. This comes back to projections. If you're not aware of what you're releasing yourself from, why you're releasing yourself from attachment, why you think it's a good idea, you can't look at another person, another human, you're guessing anyway, and effectively help them or understand. So you still might look at some Buddhist with loads of money and 82 malas and think, well, that person has got less suffering than me. But when you look at, from a Buddhist point of view, at all living beings, the Queen, everybody, you start to realise they're all suffering, they're all experiencing pain, every single one of them, and therefore it's that's how you start relating, and that's what it means by compassion. I mean, you can feel sorry for people, that's not compassion, but if you see their suffering directly and you feel like, I wish I could be an object that could help them, then I think that is the sort of seeds of like real Buddhist compassion. But you can only do that by working on yourself, because you can't see it otherwise. Our commitment to liberating ourselves from this mere mire of cyclic existence must happen before true compassion is possible. Before we can renounce cyclic existence, we must first recognise that we shall all inevitably die. Cyclic existence is akin to unconscious behaviour patterns. So we are maybe, like me, really needy, needing lots of like reassurance. So then we like reach out and say, oh, like I'm really needy and I'm in need of reassurance. And but we don't do it necessarily with those words. We do it with shit behaviour. And then you don't get the result that you want, and then you feel needy. And so you have all, that type of stuff, conscious, unconscious, constant, cyclic behavioural issues. We've all got them. We've got them with our partner. We've got them with our kids. We've got them constantly. That type of thing is what Buddhism undermines and helps you to see clearly, and that is how they perceive our life cycles. We unconsciously move from one life to another, living it unconsciously, and then we go back around and around. So for me, I'm not sure about rebirth. There's lots of stories about like kids who can play the piano at 2 and all of this. And you can kind of construct a rebirth belief from that type of stuff. And I guess I'm not against the idea. I just don't have any proof. Do you know what I mean? But from a visions within visions point of view, it has ramifications. So the idea of cyclic rebirth does resound all the way through our conscious lives to even behavioural patterns. So again, I can't ignore it. I can't remember where I was now. I think I was over here. Before we can renounce cyclic existence, we must first recognise that we shall inevitably die. I'm big on dying in Buddhism. We are born with the seed of our own death. Oh dear me. From the moment of birth, we are approaching this inevitable demise. This is just the facts. Then we must also contemplate that the time of our death is uncertain. Death does not wait for us to tidy up our lives. It strikes unannounced. At the time of our death, friends and family and the precious possessions we have so meticulously collected throughout our lives are of no value. Not even this precious body, the vehicle of this lifetime, is of any use. Such thoughts help us diminish our preoccupation with concerns for our present life. They also begin to provide the groundwork for a compassionate understanding of how others find it difficult to let go of their self-centered concerns. Well, my brush with death was, I've had personal brushes with death, but when my granny died and my granddad died when I was a teenager, I realised that what was the point of collecting? It was one of the biggest realisations of my little life. Hello, cat. So death really is the big reveal, isn't it? It's the big plaster being ripped off. Yes, will you just come and sit with me and stop shouting at me? Yeah, what do you want? Okay. Oh. What are you going to do now? Look, I'm busy. However, it is crucial that we realise the great value of human existence, the opportunity and the potential that our brief lives afford us. Oh, thanks, Amma. It is only as humans that we have the possibility of implementing changes in our lives. Animals may be taught sophisticated tricks and are of undeniable assistance to society, but their limited mental capacity prevents them from consciously engaging in virtue. Can you not put your bum in the camera? Out. Now you've knocked me off my place. But their limited mental capacity prevents them from consciously engaging in virtue and experiencing real spiritual change in their lives. Amma came along to give you a little example of that. We're doing here 7 minutes. Such thoughts inspire us to make our human existence purposeful. Okay, so Buddhism is cyclic. It goes round in circles, okay? And the biggest thing about Buddhism, I've found personally, is that you need to hold lots of balls at the same time. So you can go down the route of just renunciation. I am a renunciate. And you can go down the route of compassion. I give myself to others. I'm completely selfless. But my advice is that you're supposed to hold all these balls at the same time. You hold the ball of understanding that you are driven by trying to satiate your misery and trying to deal with that. You hold the ball of seeing that other people are the same. You hold the ball of trying to get out, learning concentration and all the things that help you get out. You hold all of these balls at the same time, and that's how you become a balanced, happy person. You don't just go mad and like down one route. We try and hold all of the balls at the same time. What's the time? 8:41. Spiritual friends, spiritual guidance. In addition to our meditation, it is important to lead our lives responsibly. We must avoid the influences of bad companions, unsavoury friends who can lead us astray. It isn't always easy to judge others, but we can see that certain lifestyles can lead to less righteous ways. Righteous, again, it's not like a sinful thing, it's what's good for you and what's bad for you. A kind and gentle person can easily become influenced by dubious friends and follow a less moral path. We must be careful to avoid such negative influences and must cultivate loyal friends who make our human existence spiritually meaningful and purposeful. Right, I think I'll stop there because I have been doing a lot of waffling. Okay.